What's going on, folks? What's happening? What's happening? What did I do with my water? Oh, okay. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? It's been a minute. Hey, we've had baseball this whole week. Pretty much the whole week we've had baseball. So I have not been able to get down here to you, but I have been keeping up with everything that's been said and been going on. And boy, you talking about, I mean, there comes time that brother guy that had it right. I was at the barbershop. Had to go get my hair cut. And the group of brothers was in there. It's the first time that I ever went in the barbershop. This is when I know it's getting bad. It's when I go into the barbershop, right? I mean, that's barbershop is like one of the places where it's like it's okay to be black. It's okay to talk black. But I go into the barbershop, and one of the things we don't do. Anyway, hold on. Sorry. I forgot to ask how you guys this week was and how everything. I'm so excited to be back here hanging out with you guys, talking, doing something other than what I've been doing that I completely lost all my manners. So the question I'd have to ask now, like I said, I hope everybody's had a good week. I hope everything that you ever thought that was going to be coming true to you came true. And I hope definitely your prayers was answered. So what's happening? What's happening? What's up, people? So we're going to get into some things. Let me warn you, because I always like to warn people, because a lot of times I talk about things that people just don't want to talk about, right? Unless they have something stupid to say online. And I got a couple stupid people that have made comments on things that I have said or have been said. And we're going to talk about the stupid people tonight. Okay? Ignorant people. Just flat out dumb as far as I'm concerned. Literally. They're ignorant. But anyway, let me get back to my barbershop story. I don't want to mess that up, because I want you to understand going into this what I'm saying. Again, one of the things about a black barbershop, if you go in a black barbershop, that's usually one place that we can be ourselves. We can go in there and we can do anything, we can say anything, we can act any way we want to, and it does not matter. But one of the things we don't do is, I'm being honest when I say this. We don't talk about white folks in the black barbershop. We just don't do it. We're so busy talking about how to raise up, how to move, how to get things done, what we're doing next, what we're building, that the last thing that we worry about is white folks. Until this last visit that I was in the barbershop, and they was actually talking about white folks. And was talking about just how tiresome it is that white folks worry about us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's like they got nothing else to do but to worry and bitch and moan and complain about black people. That's it. And what I always think is funny about this thing is your government, the people in your government, they have brainwashed white folks to the point that they it's like, we need you to worry about these black folks. And while you're worried about the black folks, what did that president say? Teach the lowest white man. I forgot what he said. Something that he'll pick your pocket, and he said he'll get. They have brainwashed white folks so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad that they have nothing else to do. LBJ. Yeah, LBJ said it, right? Show a white person something that the lowest black man, and he'll pick his he said, hell, he'll give you what's in his pockets. Something like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Look up the quote that LBJ said. Right? Look up the quote that LBJ says. But it's true. Watch this. This is true. I'm telling you facts. See, the problem is people don't like coming and hanging out with me because they be like, I don't want the truth. True story. When Prior Lake area, all in that area over there, there's a couple other places in Minnesota that black people were talking about moving to. And they decided that, they're going to raise how much a house costs and all. He said, if you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pockets. Hell, give him somebody to look down on, and he will empty his pockets. Thank you very much, James. Right there is what I'm talking about. That's where we're going tonight. So I'm going to give you fair warning. Fair warning. Because I know we can never have these conversations. People don't want truth conversation. And I always say, any point in time, somebody really want to, because I had this one chick. Hold on, let me show you. And this is the reason why I'm having this conversation tonight, whether you like it or not. Now, if you don't want to be here, cool. See you, peace. Peace. But I had this. This is what she said. Hold on, let me show you. I want to make sure y'all understand. The girl said her name is Blondie Lady. Her name is Blondie Lady 2024. Okay? This is the reason why we're going where we're going tonight. This is one of the reasons. Blondie Lady 2000. This is what she said. She said, let me read this. Racism was almost gone, but then the Obamas got elected and set our country back 200 years. Oh my God. Oh my God. See, this is a numbnut. This is probably the most pathetic thing that white folks can. I mean, really? Obama. That's where racism started. Really. It didn't start in 19. I'm going to go to 1980. I'm going to go to 1980. Ronald Reagan in the White House. When Ronald Reagan, where did Ronald Reagan go to kick off his presidential race? Where did he go? You know where he went? You know the message that Ronald Reagan put out there for everybody? Ronald Reagan went to the worst spot in Mississippi that you could go to. Look it up, people. You want to talk about racism with a president? I want you to look it up. Look up, where did Ronald Reagan kick off his presidential bid? No. See, because we want to put crap out like this. Like what Blondie, hold on. See, here's the problem. Blondie Lady 2024. I can guarantee you she has never did any research on racism. I can promise you that. I can promise you she has never done any research on Black history. I can promise you that. I can promise you she has never did any type of racism on the Ku Klux Klan. She has never did any type of research on the police that beat Black folks, who put water hoses on Black folks, who sicked dogs on Black folks. She has never done any research on those young white people who got on those buses with those Black people and those Black people. She has never done any type of research on the lady who came down from New England and was driving Black people around. They shot and killed this white woman because she was driving Black people around. You have never done any type of research on that. But Obama? You have never looked into George Bush, the first George Bush, the daddy Bush, who used the most racist commercial ad to get his bid. You have never did any type of research on Lee Atwater, who said we couldn't say nigga, nigga, nigga anymore. We have to be subtle in the way we treat and what we say to these people. You have never did no type of research on Richard Nixon, who blamed Black folks for the drugs, for the hard drugs. You have never did any type of research on how racist Richard Nixon was. Hello? But Obama? Y'all white people needs to leave Black. Anyway, so the big thing now is white folks are having a hard time understanding why Black folks are having so much joy just for getting a damn diploma in school. You're not understanding why because you don't do your research. You didn't do your research when they told us when my ancestors were never allowed to read, to learn to read, to even speak English. You didn't do your research on that, did you? You didn't do your research when they tried to integrate Black kids into these white schools so they can have good books, so they can have a good meal, so they can have a good place, the roof wasn't leaking. You didn't do that, did you? When you had white mobs literally outside busing, throwing things, you never done that. So you're trying to wonder, why are they so just happy, dancing, running around, doing this, doing that? Why? Because white folks for years have done everything they possibly can do to make sure Black excellence, to make sure Black education is the worst. You go down south. You go down south. Not only is Black folks not getting educated, even white folks. And that's the thing that gets me about white folks sometimes. You would rather suffer. Yes, you would. And you've done it. You've done it. You would rather suffer than have somebody else be a part of what America is. I understand. We all understand what make America great again. And y'all know what it means, but you won't say it. You're not honest enough with yourself to just finally come out and tell the truth. We know what it is. We ain't stupid, but y'all are afraid to tell the truth, to say what you mean. That's why people was getting mad at me. I mean, people got mad at me when I said I like Nick Fuentes. I like him because he told the truth. Nick Fuentes told exactly how white America feel about people. He told the flat out truth. That's all we've been asking. Just tell the truth. Tell the truth. Because when you can have some numbnut walking around America telling Black folks that they're chimping out, and then when he get in trouble, this man has almost raised $1 million from white folks. And then you want to sit here and tell me, oh, we not racist? You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. That's a flat out lie. Don't try it. Just be honest, people. That's all we already know. You listen. I'm from the South, right? And one of the things about the South, I'm 60 plus years old. From the time I can remember when I was a little boy, one of the phrases of the South that they stand by even today, they say the South will rise again. And when they say that, we know what that means. That means niggas are in their place. And if we can put them back in chains, we would. That is the South. That's the South. That's how it works. We know that. We understand that in the South. And even though the North always try to act like we're not stupid. I'm not stupid about that. It's hidden in this. In Minnesota, it's a hidden racism. Please go to YouTube and look up Jim Crow North. Please, you need to watch that. What is called Jim Crow North. What I need you to do is go take a look at it. Go take a look at it. Go take a look at it. But all of these kids are bouncing around happy that they graduated. Happy because they graduated. Because some kids have grown up in an environment where they wasn't supposed to graduate. They didn't think they were going to ever graduate. Because some kids have grown up where redlining was so prevalent that they didn't get an opportunity to be able to move to a good school district. Why? Because of redlining. You need to watch Jim Crow North. I was blessed. I look at it. I'm from the Mud Bottoms. I'm from the Harold Projects in Memphis, Tennessee. Straight out of Shelby County, Tennessee. The first time I heard somebody say nigger was a little white boy. We was on an E.E. Jeter Elementary School in Shelby County, Tennessee. I can remember this like it was yesterday. I will never forget this. The merry-go-round stopped moving. A little white boy said, all of the niggers get off, and push. And all these black kids start getting off this. I didn't understand because I had never heard that word. All these black kids got off the merry-go-round and started pushing. When I went home, I went to my grandfather. I said, Grandpa, this is what happened today and he said, he looked at me, he said, he was meaning you. Because of the color of your skin, this little white boy. So you can't tell me about racism. But I was blessed enough that this white man, my stepfather is straight out of Boise, Idaho. I've always told this story. Straight out of Boise, Idaho, the whitest man that you ever gonna see, Like I said, when Father's Day roll around, I will put his picture up, and it's gonna freak a lot of people out. But that white man met my mom in 1975 in Memphis, Tennessee, fell in love with her, and took her 4 little black kids and called him his own. That same white man took his family to Onslow Beach, North Carolina. One of the only times that we came off base. Took his black family to Onslow Beach, North Carolina. And that was one of the worst days in my life because they called him nigger lover up and down that damn beach. When we got in the car, they stopped their car to let my stepfather know that he's traveling with a bunch of monkeys. That's a fact. That happened. And I would think by the time I turned 60 plus years old, that we would not have any type of racism or hate towards the color of somebody's skin. When I sat there and I watched my daddy, my stepfather, sit in the driver's seat of the car and start crying, I said, this can't be like this anymore. When we would come off Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, off the base, because my father was a Marine, and we would go to this store in Jacksonville, North Carolina. It's called Rose's. Look it up. And we get in the parking lot. He would go in one door, and we would go in another door. We would have to split up anytime we went off base because it was so racist. But I was lucky enough to grow up on a military base where literally nobody cared about the color of my skin. But the minute I walked off that base, that was some of the most ugly, hated people out there because of the color of my skin. Those are facts. So when we talk racism, you're talking about somebody who went through it, who's seen it, heard it, then smelt it, and then saw it. So when all of this here crap that's going on internet, and the internet, only thing the internet has done is given white, racist, hateful people a way to be boldened. But here's the thing about it. They hide behind, it's no different than the Klan. The Klan put the sheet over their head. Now they hide behind these little emojis. And they feel emboldened just to hate on a group of people. And here's the thing that gets me. The government keeps you thinking and hating black people while they rob you blind. Trump is robbing us blind right now. Literally blind. And y'all know it. But he tells you, keep an eye on them Negroes, while his family enriched themselves to no end. To no end. Keep an eye on them Negroes. And Minnesota is turning into some of everything. They've robbed Minnesota blind because they're so used to, we keep the eye on them Negroes. But you got a group of kids on a video that's bouncing around, having a good time. It ain't bothering nobody. That's the thing about it. Ain't bothering nobody. Didn't bother nobody. Ain't hurt nobody. Didn't talk about nobody. You got white folks getting triggered because black kids are enjoying themselves because they put themselves or had to go through school. Like I said, half them black kids probably live in neighborhoods where you would never walk in, but they have to walk in it every single day. So hell yeah, if they got their diploma, I want to see them. I wish they had trampolines and everything else so they can jump as high as they damn well want to they damn well wants to jump. Y'all need to, you're talking about, this is white fatigue that we're talking about here. Leave black folks alone. Don't y'all got something better to do, something else to do? See, I know what the problem is. Because, see, white folks been running around here with this. What's going on, John? How you doing, brother? Happy Friday. White folks been running around here with this word that's called assimilation. And they expect, I don't want to be like you. I don't want nothing to do with, period, point blank. I'm being dead serious. You need to assimilate to us. No, brother, I don't want to be with zero culture at all. I put salt on my food. Yeah, and I use this thing called a rag to wash my ass. I'm sorry. Period, point blank. No, assimilate to nothing. Half the culture. Look at your culture. Look at you stole music from us. You stole food from us. You stole the way we dance, the way we dress. Everything. Think about it. At the end of the day, when you're talking about assimilate, you got white girls walking around with braids in their hair. Walking around, they get a BBL, right? You got white girl. A BBL is why? Because they want big asses like black women. They go get stuff put in their lips so they can have big lips like black women. Those are facts. Those are facts. And they're like, oh, we need to assimilate to your culture? Boy, and that's the problem. Because black folks ain't assimilate. We got our own culture. We enjoy our own stuff. We enjoy our soul food. We enjoy our R&B music, everything. And we enjoy getting a diploma and jumping up and down and enjoying ourselves and having a good time on top of it. I won't assimilate to nobody. It just will not happen. Now, you got, like, I'll give you a perfect example. We got some black folks here in Minnesota that has assimilated to you. They fit right into you. They yes, a boss. They house Negroes. I will never be a house Negro. I'm in the field. I'll be in the field. I'm going to talk the way I want to talk. I'm going to act the way I want to act. I'm going to eat what I want to eat. I'm going to say what I want to say. I will never, ever assimilate to nobody at all. See, when we first came over here on them ships and we wouldn't do right and they beat us. See, I should be speaking 2 languages right now. I should be speaking 2 languages right now. But because you all wanted my ancestors to be as close to, you literally beat that out of us. You beat our language completely out of us. That's what you did. Those are facts. Those are facts. But that's it. That's it. And in order for me to assimilate to who you are, I can never say police brutality, even though I see it. I could never say that. I could never say something like that. I could never say that there is racism in Minnesota. I could never say that. If a cop shoots and kills a black man while driving off and that cop jumps in, I've got to put a shirt on and go protest that. I have to drop everything about me that is black. I can't act black. I can't talk black. Hell, y'all got this Negro. Y'all got this Negro out at the Capitol. Y'all got him so brainwashed. Literally, his whole skit now is to get a mic and be an orator. Be that top orator. I mean, stitches. This brother got me in because I know him. I've been around him. The way y'all got this brother, the way y'all got him, y'all made him transform. It's something that needs to be studied. To now, he's the perfect orator. He's at the Capitol and y'all just dying for him to get a mic so he can use every big word that comes to his name, so he can just floor you with his speech. I just crack up. I crack up. That's what you want. Those are the Negroes y'all want. That's why you're having a hard time with these kids that are getting diplomas and they are given space. And here's the thing about this. The school understand how important it is for these kids to do what they're doing. That they actually gave them a space to say, once you get your diploma, if you want to go down there on that carpet and cut a rug and act up and shake it and move it and flip, it's there for you. But y'all having a hard time with that because because those kids won't be like the Negroes that you guys can transform into assimilation. That's what you're upset about. That you can't transform those kids. Those kids won't do what you want. Those kids won't be like these Negroes that we got here in Minnesota that calls themselves Republicans. That literally is willing to give up everything about who they are. They look in the mirror and hate that brownness on their skin. They do. I'm not kidding you. I'm telling you the truth. To the point to where they will do whatever it takes to make their massa happy. They do. And y'all always run around here talking about Democrats got black people on the plantation? In the fields? Sure. Sure, you can say that. But the Republicans got they Negroes in the house. They live in the master's house. They do what the master tells them to do. They transform into, if you have never watched Django, if you have never seen Django, I suggest you find this movie and the character that Samuel L. Jackson plays. You need, please, ma'am and sir, if y'all not understanding what I'm saying to you tonight, I need you to go. Jamie Foxx is in this movie. Trying to think of the white kid, the white guy name. Leonardo DiCaprio is in this movie. Samuel L. Jackson plays the best Republican House Negro you have ever seen in your life. If you have never seen that movie, I suggest you go watch that movie and pay close attention to Samuel L. Jackson, because that is what the Republican Party expect they Negroes to be like. Your Tim Scotts, your Wesley Hunts, your Byron Donalds, your A.K. Camaros, your Lisa DeMoss. Those are not the Negroes that you see bouncing up and down, doing flips, enjoying themselves. Those are not the Negroes you see that's going to be at Juneteenth or down there tomorrow, where I'm going, at George Floyd Square. You ain't never going to see them Negroes in the same barbershop that I go to. So leave people alone. And again, it wasn't when Obama was elected. What happened when Obama was elected was Donald Trump. Anytime black folks start making any type of progress, watch this here. You get to the point, you sit there and you go, we tired of black folks, correct? No. We tired of black folks. And I'll be honest with you also, too. There's a 16-year-old boy that just got shot and killed in North Minneapolis a couple nights ago. And I can guarantee you it was by another black person. I get tired of those Negroes. I'm tired as a black man. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of black folks shooting black folks. I'm tired of it. I get it. I understand it. But every day shouldn't be your day to sit there and think about black folks. Shouldn't be. You got other things that you could do. I post things on my site. The reason you see me put certain things on here is to bring out that hate. Because I know, only thing I have to do, I know what it takes to trigger certain white people. I know that. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. If I got a subject or something I want to bring up, I put it on my get up. And sure enough, they'll come. They'll show up. Sure enough, it never, go to my page right now. Right now. I got a couple people on my page that I knew was going to show up. Like this lady, grumpy old lady. I knew people like her would show up. I knew that. But this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say this. Don't blame black people for your hatred of black people. Blame your ancestors. No, seriously. Blame your ancestors. Watch this. Okay? This is history if you don't know. So when black people tried to do their own, we tried to have our own town. We tried to have our own community. We tried to have our own banks. We tried to have our own school. We tried that as much as we possibly can. Guess what happened? No. I'll let you guess. Because half of you never done history. You don't care about history. You just think you woke up today and black people were your problem. But when black people tried Tulsa, Oklahoma, white folks burnt it down. When they tried Wilmington, North Carolina, white folks burnt it down. When they tried Louisiana, white folks burnt it down. When they tried Georgia, there's a lake that they flooded a black town on in Georgia, Lake Lanier, right now. When they tried Florida, white folks burnt it down. When they tried to have a community with white people and tried to get along with white people in Forsyth County, Georgia, in 1987, white folks marched on it and said, black folks, get your ass back out of town. So don't sit here and try to, especially me, who has done my research, who have done research on black history, who have done research on white history, who have done research on white culture. I'm the last person that you need to try to pull the wool over my eyes. Obama was the reason for racism. Racism was almost gone. No, chick, let me explain something to you. Just like baseball and apple pie is American, racism is just American. Racism will never go away. Ever. It will always be in America. It will always be in South America. It will always be in Europe. It will never, ever go away. Because the South, especially those in the South, will never, ever let the phrase go that the South will rise again. That's what that means. That racism and hate will never die. Period, point blank. And if I've said anything that you disagree with, again, I will put you right here. I will shut my mouth and I will give you 1 hour to tell me why I'm wrong. See, the problem is nobody will ever take me up on that because I always make sure that I come on here with facts. And you can look up anything I just said to you. Anything. So when you're chimping out about black folks, You need to ask yourself why. Why? Because we tried. My ancestors did everything they possibly could do to get away from you. But you said no. We're going to burn you down. We're going to burn whatever you make. We're going to burn it. And you did. Look up massacres in America. Look it up for yourself. That's history. You can look that stuff up and see for yourself. Every time we tried to move on, you wouldn't let us. But yet you bitch and moan about us every time we turn around. Everything we built. Everything we tried to do. Hell, we are a conservative group of people. We helped start the Republican Party. Y'all always talk about that. Well, Lincoln's the one that freed the slaves. The Republican Party started with black folks. It did. And then what happened, people? No, let's be honest about this conversation. Why are there not? I put a picture up. Watch this. I did. And I knew I was going to get people upset at me for posting this picture. So the Republican Party here in the state of Minnesota put out this picture saying this is the next generation. And guess who it was? It was old white people. There was no black people in the party that started the Republican Party. There was no black people in that picture. And sure enough, it triggered enough white folks to come on my page and go, well, what do you expect? Well, why does it have to be about color? There's only white folks in the picture, and you're going to ask me, why does it have to be about color? Are we looking at the same picture? There's no white folks, black folks in the Republican Party here in the state of Minnesota that has anything to do with black people. Walter Hudson District is white. Walter Hudson don't do anything or help or care about or write legislation to say, let me help with the gunshots and the killings and the drugs and the low educations of black people. Walter Hudson don't do shit like that. Walter Hudson is tone black. But his mindset ain't black. Lisa Dumas don't come down to the community and talk about doing anything. Her district is white. That's who she takes care of. And that's the way the Republican Party here in the state of Minnesota likes it. That's the way the base like it. Because I've been told point blank by Republican lawmakers. I was told this by somebody who ran for governor, and I was helping them. I got the pictures to show it. I was told point blank by him, I cannot spend money. This is what he said. I cannot spend money in the black community. And I go, well, why? Because that's not where they want their money going. That's racism. That's behind the door, let's be quiet, racism. But that happened right here in Minnesota. So again, people, when I talk about this stuff, I don't talk about it just off of a whim. I talk about it because it's right there. I talk about it because I see it and I hear it. Period, point blank. So with these kids bouncing around, enjoying themselves, having a good, I love it. I've been watching every single one of these videos that you guys are bitching and moaning about. And then Trigger, I watch it and I'm sitting there going, go, go, go. Yes, I love it. I love to see these kids because I know what it takes. I know what it probably took for some of those kids to graduate, to stick with it. And I would think y'all white folks would be happy, because half of the times you're running around here talking about black kids don't have a father in the home, right? I mean, y'all love that. Y'all love to say that. Black kids don't have fathers in the home. But the same kid that doesn't have a father in the home, that has battled and battled and battled to get a diploma, to try to make something of themselves. That same kid you're going to put down because they're celebrating in a way that you don't like. They're celebrating in a way that you don't understand. That same kid that you found a way to put down because, his dad never shows up or whatever you guys say about black men and their kids. That same kid celebrating because of everything that kid just went through, everything that happened in that kid's life, everything. That same kid is on video just elated because they look, I got a diploma. I can go off and become something in society. I don't have to sell drugs and things. Hold on one second. So the wife ordered Chinese and the delivery guy was here, and Jordy don't like anybody in our driveway at all. And he lets us know, and he lets everybody who comes to the drive, he's still barking. He lets us know, and he lets everybody who comes to the door understood that this is my house, this is my yard. You're not supposed to be here. Peace. But leave these kids alone. Seriously, just leave them alone. Because you all look like a fool for even posting on these kids at all. And these kids are not bothering you. They aren't doing anything to you. They that knucklehead right there. At the end of the day, because it's just, to me, it's it's white fatigue. I mean, we're tired. We're tired of you guys messing with us. I mean, your forefathers made sure that my forefathers couldn't bring themselves up, couldn't do anything, and y'all you're doing what your forefathers did. At some point in time, can you stop? No, seriously, can you just stop and leave us alone? You know what? You know what would definitely help us? You know what really would help the black people? If you could get together with your white folks and keep them out of our community in buying drugs. No, seriously, that would if we can cut down the white folks coming into the community to buy their drugs, because that's how a lot of these kids are buying their guns. These kids are making buku money now on these drugs with these F-150s, these BMWs and Mercedes and Lexuses that comes driving up to North Minneapolis to buy their drugs. So if y'all could do that part for us, if you can do anything, if you can do anything that I can ask you for, is to get your people and ask them to stop. And another thing, And the people who live out in the red districts, if y'all could take care of your homeless so they're not coming in and then overdosing, and then they have to go to HCMC, and HCMC has to bring them back to life or take care of them for weeks on out until they get better, and then HCMC can't pay for them. Oh, yeah. See, when everybody was running around talking about it's just the immigrants, the reason HCMC is going downhill, that's just a damn lie. Because all of the white people who come down and are homeless in North Minneapolis or South Minneapolis that don't belong there, that's from these red districts, when they overdose, you know where they go? To HCMC. To HCMC. HCMC brings them back to life. And then they leave. And then they leave a bill. That's why we got so many. Look at the homeless camps. How they, I mean, they're just boom. That I'm not telling you something that I'm guessing on. I'm telling you because when I'm down at these homeless camps and I got my microphone and I'm preaching a sermon and I'm talking to them, or they come up and talk to me, I ask them, what high school did you go? That's how I know. Because I'll ask him what high school, not where you're from. I don't say that. I say, well, what high school did you go to? Or what elementary did you go to? That's how I know. And they tell me what high school they either graduated from, or high school they went to. Where did you start ninth grade? That's how I know they're from the red districts, the red areas in the state of Minnesota. And why did you come here? You know what they say? They say because of the resources that they got. We don't have resources in red areas of Minnesota. And that's true. Those are facts. And the drugs. So they come to North Minneapolis, or they come to South Minneapolis, or they go over there to St. Paul. And when they overdose, or they get in trouble, or they get sick, they go to HCMC. And HCMC takes care of them. Those are facts. No different than the poor white people that are in North Minneapolis, South Minneapolis, and St. Paul. When the poor white people get sick, you know where they go? They go to HCMC. That's a fact. So no, it's not just immigrants that has put a financial burden on HCMC. But because the Republicans voted no on funding this hospital that also takes care of poor white people, y'all believe it's just the immigrants that put a burden on HCMC. Y'all believe it's just the black folks that put a burden on HCMC. Y'all believe it's just the brown people that put a burden on HCMC. That's where you're wrong. That's where you're all the way wrong. One day, and maybe it's going to be when my grandkids and all these other little mixed brown-skinned children run around here. Maybe one day when a certain group of people is finally outnumbered, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Maybe that will be the day where we can say racism. I'm not going to be here. I know that. A lot of you who's sitting there listening to me, you're not going to be here. But I believe there's going to be one day, and it's going to take a lot of people dying It's going to take that old bread to die. But one day, I guarantee you, they're going to sit there and go, racism is back in history. Racism is in history. James said it's the lower white class and part of the middle class who can't afford health care that goes, yes, thank you, James. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. So people can bitch and moan about HCMC. Yes, it's been run badly. It is. And I believe before HCMC got any money, they should fire everybody at the top. They should fire everybody at the top and start over. But as far as funding HCMC, that should have been a bill that should have went out by itself. Nothing else should have been wrapped around that bill. Nothing else should be put in that. At all. But HCMC can never not be funded. It can't. Period. It can't. It is very, very, very important. Very important. But anyway, fam, I just want to throw that out there and say, you know what? I got white fatigue. Like I said, when I walk into the barbershop and they literally talking about white folks, that's when I knew I was like, something's different. Black folks are just getting tired of white folks just always looking for something. Always looking for something. But I can tell you this, we are going to be who we are. I will never change. I will never assimilate to nothing because I refuse to give up who I am. Now, the Negroes that you got here in Minnesota that wants to bounce over there to the Republican Party to call themselves assimilating and they want to be more power to them. I have no problem with them. Zero. But if that's what it takes, if I've got to be like them to be part of the Republican Party, I will never be a Republican. I will never be a Republican. I'm not about to give up who I am. I love me. Look. That's one thing. I don't. People can say what they want about me. I've always said that. But I love me some me. I love who I am. I love the way I am. I love the way I talk. I love the way I post my stuff on Twitter and Facebook and every place else. Y'all may not like it. Oh, Rev misspelled this and he misspelled. I don't care. But the funny part about it is you get what I'm saying. That's the funny part about it. Funny part about it. I got in trouble. I got in trouble when I was getting my bachelor's degree. Seriously, I'm not kidding. True story. My professor literally, I had to rewrite this paper. Because I'm not a good writer. I'm not. I'm not one of them people that's an order that I believe that I got to get on here and I have to use big words to so you guys can be like, oh my God, this guy. I don't need this guy's. But I had to rewrite my paper when I went to get when I was getting my bachelor's degree, because my professor didn't like the way I wrote it, and he felt that it wasn't professional enough for him. So I had to literally take all the words that I put on this piece of paper, and I went in a dictionary and I found the other word for it, so it can be more professional in his mind. It said the same thing, literally, no joke. I'm not kidding. Basically said the same thing in the way that I wrote it versus the way that he wanted it. I just changed a couple of words around, gave the paper back to him, and he was okay because it had, those words that dude at the Capitol uses that you guys are all same thing. I'm gonna bring it down here so I can show you. Here's the paper I turned in to my professor, and he didn't like it. And here's and I'll put it together, and y'all read it. It basically says the exact same thing. The only difference is I didn't assimilate to what he wanted. I had to code switch. I didn't code switch the way that he wanted me to code switch. And once I did, he graded my paper, he gave my paper back, and he's like, I'm going to take a couple of points off because you had to redo it. I don't care. Do I pass? That's all I cared about. And I learned a lesson that when I turn the paper into him, that I have to code switch, and he's going to be okay with it. But then once I got to walk across that stage, and I got to put my tassel on this here side, and they handed me my bachelor's degree, I would have done. If they had a space. If they had a space at that college for me to do that with them kids, I'd have been over there doing that. I'd have been over there kicking, and I'd have been, boy, talking about somebody doing MC Hammer dance. I'd have been MC Hammer because I knew what it took. I knew what it took for me to get through his class. I have to be who he wanted me to be. Right? I couldn't be myself. I couldn't turn this paper in and let my words on paper flow as being me. I have to be like the dude at the Capitol who y'all put a mic in front of his mouth and he sits there and he gives you what you want. But the minute I got that degree, inside me, I wanted to turn around and give him one of these here fingers. You guys, that's what I wanted to do. But if I have to kiss his butt long enough just to get my degree, then that's what I had to do. But then I can go back being myself and who I wanted to be. But again, people, listen, we all can get along. We can get along just good, just right. Without somebody having to change. Because only thing I ever ask other people to change is just leave me alone. Let me be me. Because again, assimilation ain't never happening here. I don't want to be you. I don't want to be like you. I don't want to be who you are. I don't want to dance like you. I want to eat like you, eat what you eat. So I use this stuff called obey. I use this stuff called paprika. I use this stuff called garlic salt. I use oregano. Anyway, fam, my Chinese is here. I got to get out of here. Hey, tomorrow. Oh, that's what I got to tell Don. Listen, people, if you have never woken up at 9:30 to hear a show, I'm suggesting if you don't get up tomorrow at 9:30 to hear Black News, and I'm not joking. I'm being serious here. When you do get up, I need you to come to my page and it will be on my page, but I need you to come to my page and find the episode of Black News that we're going to be doing tomorrow. Because we have a business, somebody who owned a business from George Floyd Square on tap for tomorrow morning. He's going to be telling you about your tax. And that's another thing that gets me about white folks. Y'all are so, you're so into what black, that y'all let these people steal your tax money from you. And y'all ain't said a word about that. Not one word. But we got somebody on tomorrow's show that will be telling you how they have stolen your tax money from you. So I need you tomorrow to come on and listen to the show that we have for you on Our Black News with Don Allen. Mr. Scott and myself will be on tomorrow morning at 9:30. If you ain't got nothing to do, come on and hang out with us. 9:30 tomorrow morning. We are on every Saturday. Basically, we talk about what's going on in Minnesota about, basically black news, black things that goes on. So for those who don't have black fatigue, come hang out with us on tomorrow. 9:30. If you miss us at 9:30, then come back after that. All right? Y'all have a good night. I appreciate y'all. We'll talk about something different the next time. But I had to get that one. I had to get that one out of here. Y'all have a good one. Peace, fam. Always remember, go out and smile at somebody so somebody smile back at you. I'll probably see you Saturday. If I don't see you Saturday, I'll probably see you next. Nope. I won't see you next Friday, because we will be in Fargo, South Dakota for the 13U AAA traveling team baseball. So we'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we will be in Fargo, South Dakota next Friday. We have to head out of here on Thursday because we got a game. We head out of here Friday because we got a game in Fargo at 3 o'clock on Friday, 2 games on Saturday, 1 game on Sunday. So I will not see you guys maybe all next week unless it rains and we don't have any practice. If that happens, I'll be on here bugging you. Y'all have a good night. Peace, fam. I'm out. Appreciate you, James. Appreciate you, John. Y'all have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. I'm going to go get Chinese. Peace.